I have a lot of self-awareness, a lot of it, but I'm too scared to express myself. How do we fix this? This is something that's going to stop you, prevent you from saying the things that you want, being the person that you want to be, expressing the emotions, the fun, the joy, the sadness, anything. And if you don't fix this now, you're going to have it for the rest of your life. So let's go over how to fix this. All right, first let's start off by defining what these words even mean. What is it to be self-aware? I would define self-aware as understanding how you are making other people feel, how your vibe, your actions in social settings make other people feel. And partly I would say it's how you are feeling yourself. So you have an understanding of how other people feel, how you kind of make them feel, and how you feel yourself inside. Now, the main part I would take away from this is understanding how you make other people feel. I would say that's the mainest definition of what self-awareness is. So now what is it to be expressive? What is it to express yourself, especially in this context of socially to other people? Well, it's then communicating yourself. So your thoughts, maybe you have jokes, maybe you have actions, you have comments, you have teases, you have compliments, you have remarks, you have stories that you want to say, there's things that you want to input into the conversation, something that you just want to randomly say to a stranger, all of these things, but you're not able to express that. And so you're self-aware, understanding how you make other people feel, understanding how you feel yourself inside, how other people kind of feel. You're a bit empathic. However, you find it very hard to express this, that inside of you. And this expression most likely does come from social anxiety. Now, there is one thing in all my teachings that I want you to know. I want you to take away this word, and that is TAD. Not a word, but kind of a word. I don't know. TAD. To a degree. Say that out loud. To a degree. Everything in life is to a degree. It's on a spectrum. And so you may have social anxiety, but it's to a degree. It's, where on this degree, where on this line are you? You may have it, but how bad is it, basically? Okay, now that we have our definitions, we understand what self-awareness is in this context, how we make other people feel, and we know what expression is, the ability to communicate what we are feeling. Now, if you do have social anxiety to a degree, and you probably will if you're watching a video like this, or you just don't even know what to say, those are two separate issues. If there's things that you say, but you just feel like you don't say the right things, or you don't know what you're doing, or you just come off socially weird to other people, but you're okay expressing yourself, that is a competency issue. That is a social competency issue. You don't understand what is socially correct to say, what is socially the norm, and you're just kind of crazy of a person, basically. Now, this is like, you would have to be unable to be self-aware. So if you're incompetent socially, you lack self-awareness. So that's the first thing that you need to work on. If it's a competency issue and not a social anxiety issue, what you're missing is self-awareness. And the way that you practice self-awareness is by going into more social situations and really looking at the other person's body language. 93% of communication is subcommunication, meaning it's all in the body language. It's where their eyes are looking, how the tensity is in their face, where their body is positioned, how they're moving in context, their voice, the speaking patterns, the framing that they're doing. And it's very little about the actual words, but everything that's going on under the surface. And so this is how you're going to read people's body language, and you should be able to tell if it's positive, negative, and you will be able to tell why you're getting those results from certain things that you're doing. And so maybe every time it's something that you're very insecure about, if someone asks you that question, you kind of like freeze up, you get very anxious, you don't know what you're saying, and then you're not able to communicate that healthily, or you get kind of weird or negative to the other person, that's going to come off in the subcommunication. And so next time okay, don't do that. Or maybe the conversation goes flat, or you don't know what to say, and you just do something kind of weird, and you get a negative response in their subcommunication. They stand back a bit, they're like, okay, I gotta go, it's nice to meet you, things like this. That is how you're going to be able to build that up. And so you're going to get actions that you do and results that come from that. If you go up to someone, shit in your hand, and just throw it in the air, I guarantee you the result you're going to get is not that good. If you go up to someone, you smile, you have good eye contact, you have warm energy, good intention, and you say, hey, how are you? I guarantee you the result of that person is going to be much better. They're going to greet you back if they're a friendly person. And so it's understanding how your actions affect other people in your body language, in your tonality, in the way that you are coming across. Maybe you're really big, you're really tall, really jacked. And when you go up to someone, they kind of have an intimidated fear and they're standoffish and they're not as friendly as you like them to be. In that case, yourself, you just have to be a bit more friendly. Show your friendliness, your good intentions just a bit more so their guard can get lowered a bit. Now that's on the competency side. If it's social anxiety that you're dealing with, SA, not sexual assault, but social anxiety, there's a different thing that we have to work on. That is going to be the expression part. So if you cannot express yourself because you can't communicate what you're feeling, you can't express yourself because of one single thing. It's a couple things, but this is the main thing. FOJ. FOJ is your fear of judgment. Dun, dun, dun. Fear of judgment. If every time in your childhood you were to express yourself in a natural, authentic way, and a parental figure, teachers, students, classmates, friends, strangers, then took that natural expression that you did and pushed you down, hit you with negative energy, maybe a mean comment, maybe a bad look, maybe withholding then love, maybe withholding or getting mad at you in some degree. And so let me give you a couple examples, okay? If that does happen, you're going to have a fear of judgment of expressing yourself, especially if that happens to a degree, right? So my fear of judgment may be higher than yours because of the amount of judgment that I've gotten in my upbringing, in my experience. Okay, so an example of this would be something like this, and I'll give you examples from my own life. When I was very little, I remember playing this game out in my front yard with my mother, and we were taking this ball and shooting it back and forth. And every time I would take the ball, I would say, shoot. Shoot. Take it, ball, shoot. And there's one time where I flicked the ball and I said, shit. Complete accident. Where was my intention? My intention was good. I meant to say shoot. It was not mean. It was not to be disrespectful at all. However, the reaction my mother had, right? So we have action, result. The action, the result of what happened to that is my mom got mad at me. And she showed her madness through her subcommunication. She showed it through now a withholding of energy. Her energy went down. Her eye contact got mean. And I said, sorry. Oh, sorry. And still, nothing. It was... And so what she was doing there is judging me. Judgment. And it was a negative judgment. Because we stopped the game after. She stopped playing. Her energy went down. Her mood went down. And so what happened is my natural expression, the action, resulted in loss of love. Now, this is very important. Who is this loss of love coming from? In my case, it was my mother. Growing up and still to this day, my mom is the only person that I have a connection with since birth that I've lived with. All my other family members have not been since birth, or up to this point in time have only been with me for a couple of years. It is only my mother who I have been with since birth I've ever known. And so at such a young age, what I experience is my natural expression leads to a loss of love from the only person who takes care of me. And if we take this to a biological sense, as a kid, if the person you love, or if the person that's taking care of you stops loving you, well, that doesn't mean that, the day's going to be bad. Oh no, my day's bad. That means this person is not going to love me anymore. They're not going to take care of me. And if they don't take care of me, what's going to happen? I'm going to die. I'm just a kid. And so what happens is not just, don't say shoot. Don't say shoot. That's not what happens. It's, oh, don't be myself. Don't make mistakes. Don't do this, because if I do, she's not going to love me and I'm going to die. And that may be an extreme thought process, but that is what your child brain does. That's what your child primal monkey brain does. The same way your monkey brain gets really anxious if someone starts staring you down. Are they really assaulting you? Is anything bad happening to you? No, but your primal brain in your brain is saying, that is mean eye contact. I think I'm about to get something dangerous is about to happen. And it's the same way with this. If they're showing that loss of energy, basically then giving you a negative energy from your authentic positive energy, that is showing to yourself, oh, don't be myself, or I will not get love and I will die. And if you have that at such a young age, what happens is a filter occurs, a filter of life. And you don't continue through life with just your regular self. You continue with life with this filter of, don't be myself or I lose love. Now, every action that you do, the mindset that you have, the actions that come from that mindset are always going to have this in the back of your mind. Because the experience, the evidence that you have is, if this happens, I will lose loss of love. And if I lose loss of love, especially from my parental figure, I will die. I will die if I express myself. And now there's going to be certain times where you want to do it, but you're just frozen and your body gets a little tense. Now let's rewind a little bit to that example I was talking about before. When I said shoot and I hit that ball, I got a little bit nervous. Oops, sorry I did that. Now my mother could have reacted a couple ways. Oh, that's okay, honey, don't worry. Continue playing the game like nothing is happening. Just make sure I knew that was an accident. Continue like nothing was happening. And so she would have met my natural expression with what? Positive energy. And what is positive energy? It's understanding. That says understanding. It's compassion, empathy. But instead she hit it with negative energy. And the body language is different here. There's warm eye contact, touch, gentleness. But what was over here? It was taking away love. Taking away love. The eye contact was mean. Versus this, like I can look at you and you will know what I'm feeling in my eyes. And you just know, like you can understand the difference between that. And as a kid, you can't differentiate like, oh, this means this because of that, and so do it. But you feel it so internally. You feel it so naturally. And what happens in that moment, in that exact moment when my mother did give me NE, and I was like, oh, don't do that. Something happened in my physiological body. Something happened in my nervous system. And so you have two states of your nervous system. You have the sympathetic nervous system, and you have the parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is what we call rest and digest. The sympathetic nervous system, it puts you in flight or fight, or fawn or freeze, one of those four states. And again, to a degree, and it can be a mix of all four to a degree. Nothing is just one or the other here. Everything is just a combination of everything fluctuating at every moment in time, but they have their general, where they generally are. And so what happened when my mother gave me NE to my natural expression is my sympathetic nervous system kicked on, my flight or flight. And I couldn't run. And it wasn't like mean, I'm about to die energy, but it was like, oh, don't do that again. And the way that this mindset is engraved into you so you don't mess up again is by putting it in your body physically. And so anytime now I have this mindset, I go to express myself, my body will physically remind me with a sense of nervousness, of jitters, of anxiety through my body, a boost of cortisol, which is basically the stress hormone. And this is basically the body's natural way of telling me, it's giving me more stress hormones because it knows the experience that's about to happen. And it's saying, hey, watch out, this has happened before and it didn't go well. It didn't go well. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't express yourself. And you can either listen to it Or you can go and express yourself again and just ignore it down. But if every time you go to express yourself and you get hit with any negative energy every single time, well, your SNS service, your nervous system is going to get reinforced so much. Don't do that. Don't do that. And it's going to boost you with like an insane amount of cortisol if that's happened for years. And that's how you get the most reclusive types of social anxiety that I have gone through. And now I can manage it. I understand how to go up to a person and kind of feel the feeling I'm having, but still be okay with it. Put the feeling that I have in me that is there. However, it doesn't control me at all because I've been through so much socialization. I've put myself through talking through so many people that it doesn't feel unnatural to me anymore. It's more of a normal thing. And so I've literally shifted my neurological body from feeling this every time I've talked to someone, my cortisol spiking. Now it spikes a little bit, but I understand that the result is positive. And so I rewired what was happening in my brain. What was happening in my brain was every single time I go to express myself, the action, I'm expecting negative energy. And now it wasn't just this one incident that made that mindset. Of course not. But it was things like that throughout growing up. And I 100% guarantee you that some of you have experienced that at least to a little bit. And so what it was my action, natural expression, whatever it is, was met by a result. This result was either good or bad. If growing up it was usually bad, negative, well then this action wouldn't take that much. You wouldn't take that action, or you would feel extremely scared to take that action. If it was then good though, what would happen is that you would actually want to take that action and you would feel comfortable doing it. And you would get motivation and you would want to do it because you're expecting a good thing. And so actually you get dopamine from getting opportunities like that. And when you are vibing with someone, a different chemical comes up. Dopamine, yes, but a different one called oxytocin, the love chemical. And this is for bonding. This is when you look at someone in the eyes and you're comfortable and you're secure and you can touch them and you feel at ease. And this is how you create a connection human to human. We are just monkeys evolved to the time that we are. We do not care about cars. We do not care about big houses. Yes, that is a sign of status, and status just means, hey, I do well for myself. I am secure in my resources and I can keep you alive. But it doesn't mean anything if you're still a fucking nasty person. If you're not able to bond, connect because you feel so scared doing it, you're not going to be able to release your oxytocin. You're not going to be able to, when you do meet someone, just calm, be yourself, put yourself in the rest and digest state. And so the oxytocin can come out. And so when you experience this good emotions, what happens? Your PNS system, parasympathetic nervous system comes out. You're chilling, you're at ease. When you get that negative, sympathetic nervous system, your body starts to tense up, starts to get anxiety, your muscles start to contract, your voice gets a little bit tighter. And how does that affect you? Well, it affects your subcommunication. If your body's getting tense and you're not at ease and you're not loose when you're talking to someone and your eye contact's down, what is that showing the other person? Well, I'm scared about what's going to happen. It's showing the other person that I'm deathly scared about what's going to happen because, first of all, for me to act like this must have happened in the past a whole bunch of times where people just didn't like me. And that's showing to the other person, well, why don't people like you? Why don't people treat you with good energy? There must be something inherently flawed about you if people don't treat you with good energy. And you're representing that by treating yourself with negative energy and treating other people with negative energy. And so if you're walking around and you're ungrateful and you're spiteful and you have all these negative thoughts and you're trapped in your head, another person is not going to find that attractive. They're going to be like, well, why would I choose to use my time to go out with a person who is going to bring my life down, who is going to give me more negativity, who is going to complain, who is going to bear their negative energy on me, isn't going to be fun, isn't going to be playful, is going to be like super logical, isn't going to know how to let loose and be fun. And that's happening because of a little neurological thing in your body that you have to rewire by going into new social situations with a mindfulness and a understanding of just putting yourself directly in the intentions of what you're doing, not even looking for the results. So the results do matter, but it's not about the results. If you're getting negative result, okay, maybe there's something that you're doing is wrong, but you want to focus on only the intention. It's the same thing as working out. I'm not looking to get big muscles. I'm looking to put the reps in the correct form. Anything in life, just focus on the intentions. Putting in the good work. Putting in your head when you go up to talk to someone, hey, I'm feeling the social anxiety right now. I understand that this is happening for a logical reason. It's my brain and body trying to protect me because of all the prior instances up to this point have been negative or haven't gone the best, or I just have this natural scared thing to do because it is a naturally scary thing to do. If we take this back to the primal time and you walk up the tribal time and we walk up to someone that you don't know and you express interest, you could be killed for that. You could be ridiculed and put so down in the social hierarchy that you get kicked out and you die to the savanna predators. And so there's a real reason why your body, even if you are confident in yourself, you're not that socially anxious, would produce this cortisol to get you more stress so you have a little bit of resistance doing it. But as a kid, that resistance was there, and it was there to a little bit of a degree, but it was not there to the degree that you feel it now. And the degree you feel it now is even higher because of all the social experiences that you've gone through up to this point. Not only did I have that immense social anxiety to go up and talk to anybody, but I also had a lack of knowledge on how conversations worked. What to say in a conversation, how to vibe in a conversation, what's the point of a conversation. I had no idea what that was. And so I needed things like questions to say, ask about this. I needed things to be like, if you want to express being funny, if you want to say something that is actually more playful or something you would say to your friend, say something like this. And it wasn't because I needed to say those words. I didn't know what those words were beforehand. It was I just needed permission to say them. And so when I say go up to someone and ask their opinion about something to start a conversation, yes, that's something you probably already knew that was a good way to start a conversation. However, me giving you the permission to go and say that does help you. It helps your brain, helps your body to be more at ease, to be more relaxed, and saying, hey, this person who obviously has done it, obviously knows what he's talking about, obviously has been at a 0 point and has worked his way up through the things that he talks about. He's giving me permission to do it. I'm going to have more trust in that. I'm going to have trust in that. I'm going to go up and actually do it. And so that's a great way to start a conversation. A compliment is a great way to start a conversation. There is any good way to start a conversation because 93% of communication is sub-communication. It's your body language. It's your tone. And so all that really matters is that you have a good intention and you're relaxed. And the intention should be, this is another person. I love people. I love getting the opportunity to meet and get to know someone new. Get someone new. And if it's someone that your eye is drawn to, there's not a lot of people in this world who, first of all, take care of themselves physically, that are physically attractive to maybe the person that you are. And then it's getting to know that person. And then we also vibe. And so if you have the social anxiety that you can't even get up to that person that you do find physically attractive and know if you guys vibe together, you don't even get the chance. So at least go up to the person, see if you vibe, ask an opinion to start the conversation, get to know her a bit, get to know him a bit, vibe how you would with a friend. And if you like their energy back, then you express interest in that person. But if you just go up to a person and be like, hey, I find you cute, I find you attractive, yeah, that's fine. That's better than not doing it. But it doesn't give that other person that ability to know who you are first. And it's coming almost as you, almost kind of desperate. It's not desperate, but it's coming off well, why don't you want to get to know me first? Why don't you want to ask me what I do, where I'm from, see how we interact with each other? And so if you just give that time and beforehand, letting that other person get to know you, it will make it a lot easier too. And so, beginning of this video, I said it's going to be very hard. You're very self-aware of how you make other people feel. but you're scared to express who you are and what the things you want to do. So, first thing, self-awareness. You understand how you make people feel, but you feel like you can't control that. You can only act in a certain way. Be conscious of when your sympathetic nervous system is activating and you feel tense and you're constricted, anxiety-induced. Just know to yourself, my cortisol is pumping right now. I have the stress hormone. And what you need to do here is take a couple breaths. And how do I know so well? Because I've done it. Take a couple breaths, walk and go and do it. Stop thinking, just go and do it. And you have to put one foot in front of the other. And if it's so bad, again, to a degree, you're going to mess up. You're going to feel too tense to even get a word out. You're going to feel too tense to even say your words properly. Happened to me. And you just have to keep doing it until you get more used to it. And if you can say it naturally, just have something in your head so you're not fanning over what do I say. Just ask about an opinion. Just say something stupid. But it's all about in the relaxedness of your body and the intention that you have. Okay. With this video, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you do not, okay, that's been the video. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I love you so much. If you want more help specifically with me, with my one-on-one program, you can join that. I'll help you flirt, banter, communicate, express yourself, lower your social anxiety more than ever before. Again, I was a person who was absolute zero. I couldn't talk to anybody. And through the steps that I've gone through with my 4 pillars of attraction and healthy mindset shift programs, these are the things that really allow you to be a good-looking person, respect yourself, others respect you, and have good positive mindsets that allow you to communicate, socialize, connect, express your interest while being confident, authentic, and competent. A person who is fun and can express themselves at any moment. Okay, I love you guys. Peace out.